Check, check, check. Mic check, mic check. Good morning. Can you all hear me okay? Can you see my screen okay? Should be good to go here, though. Should be good to go. Who we got in here? Ryan, welcome in. Roy, Andrew, AZ, welcome in. VLAX, hello, hello. Clean. Good morning, everybody. Normally, I don't trade live on Fridays, but I thought we had a bunch of really good setups going into today, and so that made me want to trade. Plus, it's already a short week, and I didn't want to take another day off this week. But then this morning, yeah, this is SPY 5-minute time frame. We're getting a gap down, so I don't know if our setups are going to be in play, but we'll see. We'll see. So we're going to go off of the focus list here. Number one is SPY. Look, I haven't moved this line since I drew it yesterday. It's the same line, and I think it's still in play for a potential short opportunity today. But usually when we got a sell-off like this, what I like to do is just give this space to work and flex a little bit so that I don't get faked out. So I like the levels that we had yesterday. You could probably move this top level down to 686 because this was the true resistance. But yeah, I like the levels that I like the spread of the levels that we had yesterday. We're just going to move them both down $1. So SPY long above, well, actually, as I look at this, 686, I don't actually like that. I think I like 687. So 687, we'll leave the top level. We'll move the bottom level down $1 to account for this pre-market sell-off that we're getting. So let's pull up the watch list, clear this out from yesterday, and put our new levels in. So we'll go 680. We'll leave 687 for SPY, but we're going to go 681 for the short level. And we'll clear the rest of these out and continue on. By the way, SPY on the daily time frame is still, this is so frustrating, it is still stuck within this wider range. And I say this is frustrating because from a day trader's perspective, we want this. We want something that is, that has momentum or moving, and we can go back to back to back to back to back green days and just run it up, or sell it off, sell it off, sell it off. But we're not getting either one. We are just getting this flat motion here. But you know what? With today's move down, this almost looks like a bear flag, doesn't it? Look, this is a bear flag, no? And then today's gap down, so SPY is opening up right here around 680, 681, 682. So a move under that kind of confirms the bear flag breakdown. And our first price target, our overall price target, is going to be 675, 676 maybe. And then we'll see what happens. I would like going into next week to see either a breakout or a breakdown from this overall range on SPY. It hasn't been the easiest past few weeks to trade. So back to the 5-minute time frame. Our levels are good. I like both of those. Let's move on. Number two is Shop. This setup is just a continuation setup. I noticed this resistance point at 125. This was a really fantastic day. Very exceptional day for Shopify. The resistance at 125 was put in yesterday. Resistance at 125 validated. This morning, resistance at 125 validated again. So this is a good trade idea because it's very simple. All you got to look for is a break of 125. If we get a move up on Shop to break that resistance, there's a potential trade here. If not, then there's no trade. We don't care really what this does underneath the resistance. It could sell all the way back off. Who cares? We're not looking for that trade. We're looking for the breakout. Long idea above 125. All right, Coreweave. I already gave you this setup, and it's not in play because of the pullback now. I don't think this is going to be in play. Yeah, on the daily time frame, I've already given you this range. Everybody should know that this range exists. I've been watching it all week long, and Coreweave has not broken this range. Eventually, it will break this range. Stocks do not consolidate like this forever. So keep alerts set around 100, the whole number overhead, and keep alerts set at 88. I'm going to move this line. Keep alerts set right here at 88. I'm actually going to set both alerts right now. So at or below 88 and at or above 100. We need to watch for a break of this range because earnings is coming up for this name too. So a lot of times into earnings, you will see consolidation, but this is so long. I mean, maybe it consolidates all the way through, but a lot of times you'll see stocks run or sell off in anticipation of whatever's going to come out in the earnings report. So those are the two things. Those are the two levels to watch, 188 on Coreweave. I had this on the focus list yesterday right here because of where it closed at. It closed at 98, 99. I mean, yeah, right under 99, 98. And I thought today we were going to get a 100 break. But the pullback this morning kind of takes this out of play because now Coreweave has got to recover from this gap down. It's got to break all of this resistance back up to 98. That's a 4% move already. Then it's got to get all the way to 100, which is a 6% move. And then if I'm going to take the trade at 100, it needs to run even further for me to make any money off of this. So is it likely to happen? No, probably not. Could it happen? Yes, because Coreweave has made some really big moves. If we do a measured move here, could Coreweave actually make this move today? It could. So there you have it. You see just a couple of days ago, Coreweave made a solid recovery off that support. It could give us a break of 100 and enough profit, but it just feels unlikely to happen. We have our alert set. Maybe I'll set one more at 98 just to tell me to go look at this early. And we'll see. If it goes red to green, maybe we'll entertain something here. But I'm not putting this on the watch list because it's pulled back off the trigger level that I wanted to take it long at. UNH. I really liked this setup yesterday. I really, really liked it. And I don't know. It could still be in play. Yeah, I think this deserves to be on the watch list. So check this out. UNH. This looks like a cup and handle. If you don't know what a cup and handle is, I will draw it for you right now. This is a pattern, and we are on the daily time frame. So a cup and handle looks like this. This is a cup, and this is your handle, right? And then the idea is that you get a breakout from this formation topside. So not only do you have a cup and handle here, but then you can also say that this is a little bull flag at the end. So you have a cup and handle, you got the bull flag, you got this gap overhead, right? Big gap. UNH is already very sold off on the daily, so there's plenty of room for it to recover and plenty of opportunity. And you would have a break of the downtrend trend line here for the move up. So I really, really like this setup. 5-minute time frame maybe makes that downtrend trend line a little more clear for you. It looks like this. Look at how nice this is. From the peak to this rally, to this rally, to this rally, to the end of day yesterday. And then this morning, I was hoping, if we get kind of like a flat open, all we need to look for is just a higher high. And that would run this up outside of that cup and handle on the daily, outside of this bull flag, outside of the downtrend trend line, and hopefully up to the $300 whole number where this gap starts. That's what I'm looking for. I don't know if we'll get it, but it's absolutely worth the watch for that. Long idea at 291. We have to see a higher high. That's the only way that this works. And I would still, even if we don't get this move today, I would still watch this going into next week. So it's worth it to set an alert right there too. Nvidia, next one on the list. We will see if it makes the list. Probably not. So this was I've been watching for a break of this 190 level and 194 I've been watching for a break of 194 forever. It's kind of reminds me of SPY a little bit, where it's just been consolidating for so long and hasn't done anything. But I was thinking, well, here's a rejection at 194. Maybe we get a higher low dip recovery and then the go. Right? But the pullback this morning kind of yeah, it takes it out of play. Even if this runs and breaks 190 today and I miss it, it's fine, because if this makes this type of move, I mean, yeah, I would like to be in it to make money there from 190 up to 194. But if I miss this move, it's fine, because the actual breakout happens at 194. So even if it makes a really exceptional day today, this still sets us up really nicely for next week to take it above 194 for the continuation. So I think we I think we have to remove this from the list. This is the problem with the gap down this morning. So like I said at the beginning of the stream, if you're just tuning in, normally I don't trade live on Fridays, but it's already a short week. And when I did my analysis yesterday, we had some really good setups out there. And I was like, okay, great. So there's something for us to take advantage of. And then the gap down this morning, well, kind of skews that. It pulls a lot of those good setups out of play. And Nvidia is one of them. So I am not going to put this on the watch list today. And we move on. AMD. Okay, AMD. This is a topside continuation trade idea. Yesterday, we were looking to see what is it going to do at the $200 hold number, which is right here. This is the $200 hold number. What is it going to do there? Is it going to hold and go, or is it going to fail and break down? It attempted to break down, but ultimately held. And then this is the trade that we took yesterday with the rally up into the high of day, right? Very nice trade. And so now we're just watching for the continuation topside. So on the daily time frame, what this kind of looks like now is a double bottom. You have bottom one established at the top side of the gap off of the 200 EMA, and then a rally, rejection of the bottom side of this gap area, another pullback hold of the $200 hold number. So bottom one, bottom two, and then we're looking for the rally move back up to 220 roughly. AMD has done a fantastic job of holding this support at the $200 hold number. Look, this is $200 right here, this line. Look at how many times it's pulled back. Held, kind of broke down, but ultimately held and held here. So that's why I'm looking for the continuation topside, because the support at 200 has just been holding, and not only recently, but over the past how many months? 4, 5, 6 months or so. So back to the 5-minute time frame. And again, the gap down here kind of pulls this out of play. But the good thing is we can look to take it long just above the previous day's closing price on this name. I don't think that this resistance up here is very, very strong in the pre-market. So it's a little risky to be doing something like this. Maybe we go long at 204. Just a proper break of yesterday's high of day. Just keep in mind 204.5 is a slight resistance, but it may not matter if AMD is going to move up. So we're kind of banking on it to hold 200 again today. In fact, do we set a short level on that? Maybe we do, actually, because you would have an uptrend trend line there. Give me 1 second. Let me think about this. And take a sip of water. I think that do we put a short level? Yeah, I mean, why not, right? If things are selling, do we go short at 200 though, is the question. It would be, so this is a higher low, so it would be a lower low. I don't want to get faked out though, kind of how like yesterday did. So let's just be a little safer on the short side. Let's go 199, and then we'll leave the long at 204. So AMD, we are looking for you to hold 200 again. We'll see if it can do it. So short below 199, long idea above 204. On watch for so the main thing is a continuation topside. Continuation topside from yesterday's hold of the $200 hold number. Otherwise, short if this cannot hold that price point. So it all revolves, our trading plan all revolves around 200. If it holds above, we can be bullish mostly. I don't think I'd take a trade under the PDC though. Otherwise, we'll be bearish. Google. Next one on the watch list. Okay, so this one actually gapped up. Yeah, I saw this range yesterday starting to form on Google, and it's at the $300 hold number. Imagine that, right? These hold numbers are so important. If you don't know, they are natural points of support and resistance in the market. So when you think about hold numbers, you're referring to 100, 200, 300, 400, those big numbers, big kind of psychological numbers that everybody likes to trade around. So I saw this range yesterday on Google, and I was like, you know what? It's been selling. RSI's kind of oversold. It's holding 300 for the past 3 trading days. Resistance around 305, 306. Can we get a move up from here? And that's what we're seeing in the pre-market. This almost looks like it's news. So is there something going on? Okay, Tigris Financial. So it must be an analyst upgrade, maybe. Tigris Financial adjusts price target on Google to 415 from 280. That's a huge upgrade. But the price target doesn't really matter. Just the fact that it was an upgrade does. So where do we go long on this is the big question. 305. I mean, that would be the natural selection, but yeah, it's already above that price point. So how you can't go long above 305 if it's already there. So what do we do here? In this scenario, I would say this is your high. The easiest thing to do would just say long above 310, long above your pre-market high. But that's so far away from the stock's current trade price. That's a 1.5% move. Why would we wait on this to run 1.5% before we take a position here? That also doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So 305 doesn't work. 310 doesn't work. How else could we analyze this? Recently, what have we got? It's a downward channel, isn't it? You've got a high, a lower high, and a lower high. So you can draw a trend line that looks just like that. Then you've got lower lows. So a low, lower low, lower low. So you could draw a trend line like that looks like that. So on a break of this downtrend that it's making, on a break of this downward channel, you would just need to see a higher high, and you would just need to see a higher low. So this kind of gets confusing if I start putting too many lines on here. But this is what we're looking for. If this is your high, lower high, lower high, if this is to continue down, it should continue making lower highs. So we know that the downtrend is broken the moment that this makes a higher high, which is going to be right here above $307. So that's why 307 becomes your long level for Google today. And you might ask, well, why not take it long at 310? It's too conservative. But we can utilize 310 as our price target. So now if this runs and breaks 307, well, maybe not 310. Let's be more precise here. Let's just go 309.5 roughly. Now we use from 307 up to 309.5. That's our price target. That's our next point of resistance overhead. You got a little resistance there, but typically on a break of the downtrend, it runs all the way up to test this resistance. So 309.5 pre-market high becomes your price target, and Google is a long idea above 307. Google with an L, by the way, an L at the end, not G-O-O-G, G-O-O-G-L. They're the same, but they're different. Long above 307. And our notes here, what we'll say is this is one of the few names that is gapped up. After holding the $300 hold number, we're watching for higher highs. All right, next is Hood. Hood. Yeah, so I was overall bullish on Hood. I know that it's really beaten up here on the daily, but that's part of the reason why I was bullish on it. A lot of times why is this not letting me zoom in? There we go. A lot of times when you have consolidation like this, it is one of the first signs to a trend change. On top of that, Hood has already been trading at this price point before and established it as a point of support. So if we were just to pull this support over, I know it's not perfectly hit, but you get the idea. This is your support area, this is your support area, and now you're seeing a bunch of consolidation just above the support area. And a lot of times that will signal a reversal. That's going to tell you that the support is holding or probably is going to hold. So 5-minute time frame, yeah, it's run up to the resistance recently, which was 77 to 78. So your pre-market high is actually 78. The safest level to trade around today is going to be 78. I wish that this didn't do this. I wish that this was actually like a little bit of a gap down, so we could have just taken it, or even a flat open without the pre-market high, because we could have went long at 77. Oh, so what do we do here? That could work too if we want to be aggressive on this. The problem with where we're setting the level now is how far away it is. 3%. That's 3% away. So why not take advantage of this earlier, right? And go long at 77. It's a little risky because of the resistance here at 77.5, but it could work. And then our price target, if this isn't a big point of resistance, our price target to 78 should be enough for us. So from 77 to 78, 1.3% profit. It's not ideal, but it's not the worst thing in the world either. If this was at like all-time highs and I had a reason to be aggressive on this, I would go with 77. I think I want to be a little more conservative only because of where Hood is at on the daily. So Hood is going to be a long above 78. I'm going to go more conservative with this one today. If you want to be more aggressive on this, long at 77, I'm fine with it. I can't justify being aggressive on Hood to the long side because of where it's trading at on the daily, because it is so sold off, right? It's not like this is a bullish setup per se that looks like it's going to break out into all-time highs and it's been running and everybody's real long on this stock. That's not really the case here. So it doesn't make sense to be aggressive for me. Long above 78. Meta. Next one and final one on our focus list. And let me remind myself of what I was looking for here. Yes. Okay, so I think it was just a bounce move off the top side of this gap is what it was. And I was watching for this curl up to continue up. Like I said, yesterday's analysis I felt fairly bullish on. So 650 whole number, I was thinking maybe it gets to 650. We look for a break of 650, but the pullback here, yeah, kind of pulls that out of place. So this pullback really skewed a lot of the analysis. So we're having to now kind of go back, resort back to these, I don't want to say subpar setups, but we just don't have as many good setups as what I thought we had because of this pullback now. That's really pulling things out of play. This would have been awesome if it stayed up here and then just opened slightly above where it closed at. Even if it opened closer to where it closed at, long at 650 could work. But the problem with this now is just, yeah, how far it's got to go. It's got to break this resistance, break the PDC, break yesterday's high, break the pre-market high, and break the whole number before I even get a chance to take a trade on this. So I think that I don't include Meta. I don't think that I include Meta. All right, let me roll through this list and see if there's anything out there that I might want to add. What I'm looking for when I do this, by the way, somebody took some trades on INTC yesterday. Somebody was mentioning this in our Discord. It was a short, I think they said a short below like 45 or the break under 45. And then this opening sell-off rally rejection here was a beautiful trade. Some of you caught that. So congratulations to those that did. I'm going to keep rolling though. INTC could be a continuation short. What I'm looking at in the pre-market right here is anything that looks out of the ordinary. So most of these names have gapped down. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. So now we revisit an idea on Microsoft. I've already had these levels drawn. I know the $400 whole number is right here. 402 roughly your resistance, but 395 your lower support. The gap down puts this closer to 305. Look at this on the daily. That is a range as well. Ooh, I think we add this. I think we add Microsoft short under 395 for a range breakdown trade idea under the whole number. Yeah, that's good. Let's do that. Microsoft short below 395. And it's a setup that we've already analyzed too. So it's not, it's not like it's not a brand new one that nobody's looked at this week. Short below 395. And we're going to say we're looking for the break of the range over the past 3 trading days. Following the gap down this morning. Yeah, I like this one. That's a good find. I'm glad that this is why we do this. So we roll through this list. It's super important that you go through. If you have a primary list that you like, a pool of stocks that you like to trade and choose from, you should be going through that list at least once a day. I go through mine about 3 times a day. Always in the morning like this. Sometimes in the midday. Sometimes I'll roll through it, though I haven't been doing that recently. And always at the end of day, after market close. All right, I've stopped here on Amazon because this is, it doesn't look like everything else, which, like, if you go and look at Microsoft, right, it had that sell-off. Amazon doesn't really look like any, like, it's not a gap up, but it's not a gap down either. 207, that's a line that we just drew, is a resistance. This is holding, just recently bounced off of the 200 area. So many names are trading at these whole numbers. Very big week. Do we add Amazon above 207? Maybe. Let's put it on the list. And then we'll put a couple question marks there, and then we're going to go through and fine tune it at the end. But yeah, so what I was saying is you should be going through your list if you have a list. If you don't have a list, you should have a list. Make one. You should be going through it multiple times a day. It's just so beneficial because you gain so much familiarity with where these stocks are trading at. And so you learn, at what price point all these stocks are at. You learn how these stocks move on a day-to-day basis. You learn about what news is out affecting those stocks. You learn about the setups and potential upcoming setups that they have. So there's just so much benefit to getting familiar with a grand pool of stocks. That way you almost always have some sort of opportunity being presented. No, there's no shade against anybody that only trades this or only trades that or only trades SPY or only trades one thing. No shade to you, but I don't see how one thing offers you something every single day. I think you expand your possibilities when you have a larger pool of stocks to choose from. All right, we're getting to the end of the list. I haven't seen anything else that I've liked so far. I'm just going super quick here, looking at the pre-market price action. All right, so let's go through our list one more time and see if we want to edit any of these levels or remove anything. I don't think we're going to add anything. So at this point, it's just what kind of adjustments do we need to be made? Do we have to make, if any, at all? So SPY, long above 687, short below 681. Those two levels are good. Yeah, it's basically the same levels as yesterday. Just we slid the lower level down $1 to account for some flexibility shortly after the open. So we're not getting faked out. But yeah, I like these two levels. That's fine. Google, long idea above 307. So we are being aggressive on this because it's showing relative strength. It's one of the few names that I saw that was gapped up this morning. And it's already been holding the 300 whole number, kind of sold off on the daily, might be due for a bounce. We think there was a positive reaction to a news catalyst here, so we'll see. Can we get a follow through topside on Google today? Up next is AMD. We like this above 204 if it can give us the continuation, but we also said, hey, if it breaks this uptrend trend line and breaks below 200, we could take it short at 199. Both of those levels look good. Whoops. Microsoft, yeah, we just analyzed this. Short below 395. We're looking for a break of the range. That is fine. Shopify, long above 125. Yeah, very easy analysis here. You're just looking for a break of the resistance over the past 2.5 days. UNH, looking for the break of the cup and handle formation on the daily. That's going to be a long above 291. I don't know if it'll get there today, but if it does, it's definitely worth taking a look at to see if there's some opportunity that we could take advantage of. Hood above 78. This is a lower. I'm thinking about almost removing. I don't see the problem in leaving it, but this is a lower quality setup for me. Kind of Hood, I would say you could just put this as a back burner name. Put this as a back burner name. You don't really have to watch it. Just set an alert at 78. If the alert goes off, there's a trade there. Otherwise, this isn't doing anything for us. We do not want to trade Hood while it's right here. This is so much chop. It's making big moves, but it's choppy in here. So stay away from that. When the clarity is there above 78, we'll know. And then Amazon over 207. Yeah, we'll leave that one on the list. That was another addition for us. So Amazon above 207. All right, team, there is your full watch list. So as noted previously, we are trading live today. Typically, I don't trade live on Fridays, but we had some good setups today, and it's already been a short week, so I didn't want to make it a double short week. So I will see you over in the live trading in the Discord server, not here on YouTube. Let me show you how to navigate there. Your watch list is posted in the Day Trade watch list channel. So scroll down, left-hand side of the server, all the way down to the bottom. You're going to see a voice channel called the Arena. Join the Arena right here. You'll see people piled in. That is where I will meet you for the live trading. I'll be there in about 10 minutes. Thank you so much for your time this morning. I hope the analysis has helped. If I could give you two pieces of advice before the trading day starts, it is this. Number one, protect yourself. Always, 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 always protect yourself. Fridays can be very unforgiving if you're trading the same day expiration contracts. So please, whatever you do on your trades today, protect yourself, especially if you've been green this week. Your only goal is to stay green. That's it. That's it. And number two, well, I forgot what I was going to say. That's such a shame because I thought I had something really good, but I forgot. Oh, I had a brain slip there. Okay. Well, number two, I would just say maybe have fun with it, but I don't think that I can say that with trading because it's something that you should not really be having fun with. Treat it as a business, not as a hobby, as they say. All right. I forgot. If I remember, I'll tell you over in the Discord server. All right, team. I'm ending the stream here. We'll see you over in the arena. Give me about 10 minutes. I'll meet you there.